Hello and welcome to this Jane's Weather Update. It is Thursday, the 29th of May. I'm bringing this one day early, but let's take a look at what is happening here. We've got a weather system that is coming into the west. So that's going to bring a couple of days' rain. We've got another one that is moving across the top, delivered big falls in through the Northern Territory and the northwestern parts of WA, and is now moving across Queensland and will hang there for a couple of days. In the southeast, we do have some clearing cloud. We've had some frost in the northeast this morning and in Tasmania as well. But we've got a high pressure system that is sitting over the bight here that is stopping some wet weather coming into the southeast, as it has been doing for quite some time. All right, so let's take a look here at this one. All right, here are our current warnings. So we've just had this flood watch lifted here, but we still have it here based on all the falls that have happened across the past couple of days. This here is still from that flooding from Queensland many weeks ago now, so that's still happening in those inland parts of South Australia. We've got wind warnings for the marine all through here. We've got them here in Tasmania and up the coast as well. We've got some surf, and we also have coastal hazards that are all in through there. We do have some, let's just zoom in, and here we have our leftover flood warning. So they're all minor now in these New South Wales parts. And the frost warning for the northeast parts of Victoria has just been cancelled, as you would expect it to do, at 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so there's all of our warnings. Let's have a look at what is coming for the next couple of days and perhaps a week ahead. Here's our large high pressure system that is sitting over the bight. So we've got southwesterly winds coming into the southeast there. So that's the direction there. So that means it's on the cool side of the high. If you head over to the other direction, you had a little bit of warmer air that came out through here. Wasn't much this time thanks to all of that cloud that was across the north. Here's the next weather system coming in on a low that is just off the map there. We had the rain that moved across here. Today it is these parts of Queensland, but let's watch how that moves through. So this is Thursday. Now we'll move into Friday. High pressure by the end of the day sitting here just south of Adelaide. Here's the rainfalls for Queensland as the remainder of that system moves in. And here is juicy moisture coming from the north right down into that low. So this means it goes from the Pilbara right down to the south coast as this particular weather system comes through. So that is a nice one for the west. We'll watch what that does as it moves across the country. Here is our fabulous high pressure system that continues to affect the southeast. So let's move through. Here is Saturday. It's now over here. We've still got rain happening in through these parts. Here is this rainfall system moving across the west. Let's move into Sunday. High is out to the east. Here's this system. You can see it's not really moving into South Australia. It is moving south thanks to that high being in the way. And the last little bit of that particular weather system moving through Queensland. But hey, there is another one that is over in the west. Here is the end of Sunday. Let's have a look. Monday. Let's focus on this eastern part first of all. You've got moisture coming in through Queensland. You've got the remains of that system coming up into the southeast. Are they going to connect? Let's just watch that for a second. So here's Monday. Tuesday, it's only really in the south. Yes, it's in through these inland parts of New South Wales, but it's really missing out on these guys here. It's back to Monday. Might get a little bit there. Tuesday, here we go. Wednesday, moving away. So this isn't the amazing rainfall system that it could be for those inland parts, particularly here where the drought is really, really active. This one isn't going to provide a lot. Let's now skip back over to the west and have a look at Monday. Here we go. We've got that weather system, the next one coming in. Look how long it takes to move across the west there. So there's Tuesday. Again, another lovely bit of tropical moisture coming in, meeting up with that low, working together to do good things. Here we have Wednesday, all in through here, still lovely over in the west there. Thursday starting to edge across. Here's the next high that is moving to the east there. Let's have a look at Friday. Ooh, very exciting. If you're in the southeast, I know that's weird that I'm getting excited by this, but I'm sure you feel me. I'm sure you get me that we need this rain here, and here is the potential for something to happen. Now, if you go back to last week's video, you'll know that I was on week 2. We were having a look at, was it last week's or the week before? Maybe the week before. The Euro model had some wet weather making it right to the southeast in that week 2 product. And it was like, ooh, okay, is this something that is likely to happen? The Bureau product had no ideas of it at all, but the Euro definitely did. And this could be that guy. This could be that weather system that's moving through. Now, what do we like about it? What do we hate about it, first of all? It's so far away. It's a full week, so we have very low confidence in that. Let's just get that out of the way first of all. It's a long way away. Things could change before it gets here. But as it stands now, you've got a lovely low pressure system. That's what we need. We need instability to make this happen. We need a feed of tropical moisture to actually get that rain to go past the coast and move inland as it moves across the southeast. these two could actually connect for once because the high moves enough out of the way. Look at that. It's moving right up here into southeast Queensland. It's no longer sitting over the southeast there. So this is a good scenario. Just to let you know, give you the heads up. Not guaranteed. It's a full week away. But there is something on the horizon that definitely needs watching. And it's still hitting the southwest of the country. That's 5 days later. So that is a great looking system. All right, so let's have a look at what that means in terms of totals. This doesn't include Friday, so we're only to Thursday. We're only the 8-day outlook at the moment. All of this loveliness coming into the southwest here and even up into the Pilbara. So you're looking at falls here, even over 75, even over 100 millimetres. So that's lots that is going on in the west. There's some of it moving inland, 10 to 25 millimetres. So this is a really nice two-bang system that comes through, the first one and the second big one next week. So that's great. We've got what's happening in Queensland here. We've got a little bit of moving down to New South Wales, but it's not a lot. And we've just got the coastal stuff here in Victoria as that system moves past. There's not a lot through the inland. That's before this next weather system hopefully makes it all the way. All right, let's have a look at that euro. And here we are for week 1. So this is Monday through to Monday. So this is next week. And it's still got another system coming in here. Interesting. It's got it moving all the way across to the southeast. Love that. And it's got something here in southeast Queensland, or the southern parts of Queensland and New South Wales here. So this is a lovely little pattern that we might have for next week. So keep that on the radar as to what's happening. There is our system moving across. The euro likes it, and the euro liked it a couple of weeks ago, so that's really, really good to see. Does the Bureau like it? Oh, strangely enough, yes, they actually do. Both of those in consensus. We like models in consensus. It gives us higher confidence that this is actually going to happen. So that is also a great sign. Both of those showing fairly similar outputs. Great. Let's move now into week 2. Less nice. This Europe has this coming in through here, but not a lot across the south. Now, it's not brown in through here. It's not brown over in through there. So that means we might be getting something coming through, but it's not quite as juicy as the current system that is coming in into next week. So that's week 2. What does the Bureau say for that? A fairly similar thing, but they don't have the rain there in Queensland. Okay, let's have a look at the MJO, doing a little bit of a drive-by at the moment, and we can definitely see that in action. There's the rain that's moving down through there. It was pouring into here a couple of days ago, then moved across here. We had, go check my blog post, you'll see the waterfalls cascading down Uluru. So a lot of rain came in through there and the flooding that goes with it, and now it is moving across. Also, this next thing coming in, and then the one next week also being able to come in. So this here, we like it when it moves into this zone here. However, you'll notice that the forecast has it moving away. So we've got the nice effect now, and we've got it moving away in the future and then going back to quite neutral. Okay, let's have a look at Sam. We had that strong cold outbreak over the southeast. Was it a powerful cold front? Yes, it was a fairly strong cold front, but the thing driving it was actually a cut-off low-pressure system. Aha, that is why we're in the positive here. So it enabled that stronger low to come through and actually move those highs out of the way so it could actually pass through. It didn't have a connection to tropical moisture, so if you were inland, there wasn't a lot that came out of that one, particularly in South Australia and northwestern parts of Victoria. So that's where we are now, and it's likely to go back to neutral into positive, as this one always suggests. All right, sea surface temperature anomaly. I'm going to go straight over to that box in the Indian Ocean because have a look at that one. No longer completely yellow. In our previous videos, we noticed a little speck of blue coming into the west. That has now grown. So that is a great sign that is coming into there. That is the catalyst. It is the change. It is the kickoff for the Indian Ocean to start doing things differently. And if we can get those lovely bits of moisture to come in as we're seeing now, when it's not in our favor because it is still up in through here, but the forecast is suggesting it's going to head down here into the green zone, then that is great news. So we still have this here, July, August, September, October. Lovely 4 months, great time of the year for us to be in a negative IOD. That will encourage moisture to come down from the northwest. That is part 1 of the equation. It is the moisture part of the equation. It doesn't say if it's going to run into low pressure and actually turn that into rain, but at least means that step 1 is a big tick and it is taken care of. Do we still have high pressure dominating? That is the question, and that is the thing that we just cannot answer as to what it is likely to do. But when it is in a negative IOD, you're less likely to see those highs blocking in the southeast. So this acts in our favour in a couple of different ways. So this is a great thing here. Let's just pop back over here and have a look what's happening in the Pacific Ocean. It is a very neutral box that is out through there. It is half blue, it's half yellow. We still have a lot of warm water off the coast of Queensland here, so that's our own source of moisture anyway. Let's have a look at what's happening here. We're now just in wishy-washy, no man's neutral land, and that is where it is likely to stay for the rest of the year. So the Pacific Ocean, we've got a lovely source of moisture there. It's not a big global push, but we've got our own local source. The Indian Ocean is the thing that is the exciting part as we go through winter and spring. All right, let's whip around the country. We'll start off with Brisbane here. Today, it's fairly cloudy. We've got all of that sheets of cloud coming across from the west there. In terms of wet weather, likely to start tonight. And have a look at this. All through Friday, all through Saturday, and on Sunday it starts to break up before the next one comes in early next week. So that is a fairly wet weekend. Now, in Queensland, you get a wet weather forecast and you go, that's a bit of crap because it showers and it looks like doom and gloom, and so it's coming in off the coast and it's just showers streaming through. So then it would be a little downburst and then bright sunshine, and then a downburst and then bright sunshine. This is not that pattern. This is something that's coming from the northwest, and it is a big cloud band that's coming through, so that is widespread, steady rain that just keeps going and going and going. So there's quite a difference in terms of, you'd go, oh, it looks like a wet weekend in Brisbane. It actually is, because it's rain that's coming from the west rather than showers that come from the east. Okay, so there we have Brisbane. Let's move down to Sydney, where it's looking very dry. We've got the cloud from today. We've got the showers right on the coastline. They're going to clear out. And then as we go through Friday, temperatures rise again. Lovely Saturday, lovely Sunday. So Sydney is a great place to be this weekend. Heading into Monday, some cloud comes back. The cooler air and wet weather is from Wednesday onwards as that next weather system starts to come across. Okay, let's have a look also at Melbourne. Here we have, it is the very odd, very lighter shower today. There's not much going on. There'll be some sunny breaks during the afternoon, but those light showers do come back in the early hours, and then they continue into about just into the early afternoon tomorrow. So there's another little burst of that coming through. Is it going to add up to a lot? No, it's not, because there's no instability, there's no moisture. It's just annoying little light stream showers that come through. There might be more of those into Saturday. Now, you'll notice this is a 20% here. Let's put that out and let's put the key on. So this one, 60%. Most models are suggesting that is likely. As we go into Saturday, it is only the one model that likes it. The rest do not. In fact, the rest have quite a lot of sunshine that's there during the day. So it's only the Australian model that likes that as we move into Saturday. All clear on Sunday, cold start, nice day. Into Monday, that's where we also have nice wet weather, nice sunshine. Then into Tuesday and Wednesday, that's that next burst coming through. It's now Tuesday and Wednesday. There's some pretty cold air with that one. There will be some alpine snow with that too. And then there might be something, there's that next system coming at the end of next week, the one to keep an eye on if you are in South Australia or Victoria and you're really missing the rain. Okay, let's have a look at Adelaide, where there's not a lot going on. Thursday, sunshine, sunshine, sunshine. As we move through Monday, Tuesday, there's that system coming from the west, not likely to do much. You saw how it already moved south of the mainland, so Adelaide, South Australia, not seeing much from that one. But later in the week, let's move through to Friday. Can I click on that? No, I can't. Let's move through to Thursday. Here we go. There's that next weather system that could deliver some good things. Now, not every model is on board yet. One still has 0.5, but one's got 28 in this particular area. And last week, we were looking at that little area near Adelaide that was likely to see around the 25 millimetre mark, and 28 millimetres was what was fallen in particular in some of those observations there. So that actually did quite well. So this one here is the next major potential for rain for South Australia. It's not until a full week away. Let's head over in the west, where it is very wet indeed. So here we have Thursday. We had the little light rain coming through in the morning. We've got a little bit of a break, and then it increases again as we go through the late afternoon and evening. That then sets in as we go through Friday into Saturday morning. So that's that first one coming in. After that, temperatures are lovely. We move into the low 20s there. There's lots of sunshine as we go through Sunday. Enjoy Sunday with what is coming next week, because here we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe even Friday at stage. So it's lots of tropical moisture. It's lots of low pressure. They're working together to bring lots of wet weather. That's it from me for this week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.